Good afternoon again. Of course, this is the second part of the series of what sort of district I was teaching in. The town was about 2,000 in population, and the district was huge, so many of the kids were bused into school, which turned out to be an advantage as far as the elementary music program was concerned. We didn't require kids to take any tests. We didn't look at their grades. We didn't look at their intelligence tests. We didn't ask teachers about them. They could sign up freely for whatever instrument they wanted, and that seemed to really work pretty well. They just had to have a horn that was in playing condition, which we had checked and played, and or they rented an instrument from a music dealer that came in one afternoon sometime in the spring of the year to set it all up for the kids who were going to start in the summertime. When I say we, it was really just me. There were two people in the music department. I did 5th through 8th grade, and the other fellow did 9 through 12. There were no lessons that were given by private instructors because there were none. We were out in the middle of nowhere, and so anything that had to be done, we just had to do it and know how to do it. And still, it worked out, very well. So the elementary band, the kids would ride in on the high school bus, and I would have them twice a week for about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, which was really very, very nice. It was a combined 5th and 6th grade band, so that meant that in the fall of the year, you were also bringing those new kids in that you just started in the summertime, and that's where part of the technique book that I'm laid out regarding the elementary technique book came into play, because the older kids could play that material and had it down pretty well, and so they would play it, and in a certain sense those early band rehearsals, they were really teaching the younger kids the ropes and letting them know how the things were to sound and what you could do and couldn't do. So they acted as very good role models that way. The intermediate band also was a combined band, 7th and 8th grade band, and of course in the fall of the year, you have the 6th graders moving in into 7th grade, and the 8th graders have moved up from 7th to 8th, and they're more experienced players. Again, the materials in the elementary and that intermediate book served me very well, because we had some real good common ground that we could work with in that situation. The other thing about the cadet band, that met 5 days a week for about a 40-minute period, which was really ideal. It's amazing how much you can get done when you have adequate rehearsal time. And I made every bit of use of that I could. The facilities for the cadet band were ideal. It was an old high school band room, and it had about 6 or 7 practice rooms. And so I could break the band up and send them into those practice rooms and give them assignments to do, working on the literature that we were working at, in the band room during the day. So for part of the time that I taught in that school, that I really had very much ideal circumstances. That gives you kind of an overview of the picture of what the situation that I was in. From that, we would have concerts once or twice a year. In the spring of the year, the tunes that are up on the website, they were all recorded at spring concerts. They were done, the bulk of them were done on an old Will Allenstock reel-to-reel recorder with a single mic, and I was the one operating the recorder. I'd have it behind me on the stage, the conductor's place, and I'd just turn around, press the buttons, and then turn around and start the band. So that's the way they were recorded. There's nothing really manipulated with it, as you could say. They either played it or they didn't play it. Those tunes went from that reel to reel. It was given to a band director that was south of us, was making records, and he put it onto a vinyl record. From the vinyl record, it got put onto a CD many years later for the kids, and then from that it was somehow transferred from that to my iPod, and I don't know. It's gone through very many, changes. I don't know how much of the original sound is really there. you could get a chuckle out of that, I would think. Okay, I'll stop there. This is another long enough video, but it gives you a little better picture of what I was working with and what the situation was for the materials that I was using. Okay, thanks a lot. Don.